Hi, hello. And today I am going to discuss about photo shoots, right? About photo shoots for adults, for couples, and for singles. And I create photography in boudoir style, glamour style, boudoir, nude photography, explicit photography, make love scenes, and adult fantasies, erotic fantasies, right? And that is something what I'm going to discuss today is a variety of questions about variety of photo shoot in adult style, right? And the first question is going to be this. My wife and I are very interested in Cuckold shoot. Can you tell us a little more about the process? Cuckold shoot is the most popular fantasy, erotic fantasy in the UK. And at my studio, I have discussed a lot about adult photo shoots with hot and sexy models. And Cuckold fantasy involve inviting a male model on set, right, to meet a couple. Okay, here is the question to tell more about the process. Okay, so the process is this. First of all, I need to know if the wife, who is going to have a cuckold shoot session, is aware of this fantasy. Very often guys would write me an email or ask me via phone, contact me about the fantasy and want to know more information, but never, approached their wife about this, never even told, or maybe spoke about this before, but wife doesn't know. Okay, so if the wife doesn't know, right, so most likely it's not gonna happen. Okay, so the first thing I want to know is your girlfriend or a lover or a wife is aware that you are planning an erotic photo shoot, a cuckold fantasy shoot where there is another person and not husband involved. You see? So that's the first thing. Okay, before even going into details and explaining how the shoot would work and what will involve, I need some questions. First of all, I would ask the ID. Okay, couple or husband would send me the ID, okay, to show that he is serious, about this photo shoot. And we are not wasting here my time going back and forwards via emails, right? So first of all, is the ID requested because we're hiring an adult model and there is someone else involved, right? So there will be a third person in the shoot. Right, when it comes to hiring the model, usually I would ask what the wife would like, okay, because the wife would be shooting with this model. It's not the husband who will be shooting. Most of the time when we create cuckold fantasy shoots, and I'm talking about right now, right, we invite male, right? It has to be good looking, right? Physically very well developed, so someone really hot, right? Then mentally, how to say, confident, know how to go around with the lady, very respectful, and of course hands-on situation, not shy guy, right? So experienced in adult business and experience with the ladies. Most of the time when we're booking cuckold fantasy shoot, couple or specifically lady will require a very big or a huge size, okay, to maybe improvise, right, and have something different that she has at home, right? And the most popular, of course, for cuckold fantasy shoot is the black guys, okay? So black guys have a kind of this is like a stigma maybe. People are stuck with this idea that if they hire a black model, most likely he will have a huge or a big size. Okay, so that's the preference, but not always, not necessarily, right? So first of all, I would ask questions and I would check the ID, okay, who is interested and who is inquiring, right? Then, of course, I can tell about the process. Okay, the process is handling, all the handling takes the studio. Okay, they don't need to go and look for the model. They don't need to discuss anything, talk about arrangements, talk about the shoot, talk about, the services, right? Everything is done for them on their behalf. Even with testing the health situation with the model as well, like checking that. right? So we check all the points, we discuss, we agree about the photo shoot, the timing, how the model should come, how they like him dressed, okay? Maybe he has to wear a suit, maybe something casual, right? And then the model will be informed, invited, and he will arrive on the right time, okay? So the process is very simple. Couple is booking a photo shoot and paying a deposit. Paying a deposit and securing the day at the studio, and paying a deposit for a model, okay? For a model. And that's the first step, okay? Paying a deposit. And then they choosing a package which they would like to get, right? Package vary by the service and by the length of the photo shoot. They can have 1 hour session, 2 hour session, 3 hour session, right? They can have a photography, they can have videography, they can have both. Okay, and then finally we will discuss the post-production. Okay, we discuss about the post-production. So the process is this, that people will arrive to the studio. Most likely husband will book a makeover for his wife, and that would be a beauty professional arriving to a studio and preparing her for a photo shoot. She will do a makeup, she will do the hair, and then we will decide what we're wearing. The model will arrive, model will get introduced to the couple. And there are 2 types of models, okay? One type of model who would want a husband to be next to him, or maybe even, you know, participate in something. And the other type of the model who don't want the husband to be in the studio, okay? So the husband would wait in the car, probably, right? And this type of photo shoot, you see, fantasy photo shoots is all premium experience. Okay, the problem what I have is that people with a very tight budget, okay, they're trying to book a photo shoot. And of course the photo shoot, you see there are levels of the photo shoot. There are photo shoot when people are shooting dressed or semi-nude, okay? There are people who would shoot naked, an explicit shot with erection, I mean, right? And there is another photo shoot type is when people would want to have an intercourse, right? Penetration shots. On camera and on film, they would have to, you know, then there is another, to go to the climax and reach the orgasm situation, right? So there are different shoots in there, okay? Most of the time, of course, we're shooting till the very end, but not every husband would like that, okay? So there are people who just want to have that, you know, jealousy, maybe a thrill, maybe, you know, just an adventure, a fantasy, okay? And the wife will be just, you know, playing around, okay, and nothing else, right? So there are different options about the Cuckold fantasy shoot. The riskier, the friskier, and the sexier it gets, the more pricey it gets, okay? When it comes to the model price, priced is also by the hour, okay? The hotter, the better, the more experienced model will be priced more. Okay, that's not a surprise. Usually the prices are between 300 to 500 per hour, you know, to hire a model to join you, okay? And you know, then we will discuss details. So like I say, first we receiving a deposit to confirm, okay, the reservation, and then we start working, okay, towards the photo shoot. Okay, and that's, like I said, it's a very popular fantasy shoot with the couples hiring the model, right? Let me just quickly go and discuss another question. Okay, I am a disabled erotic male model needing a very rude nude portfolio with a lounge sofa rugs type set. I would like to pay £400 for your services, and I experience with you. Please also I also use wheelchair, so I would require a ground floor studio to model. And he signed. Okay, so for people are contacting me, disabled models, I can tell you that my studio is on the 1st floor, and I'm not gonna move my studio for you, okay? And there is no wheelchair access. Okay, so I will not be able to service. It's just simple as that. Okay, But I recently shot one disabled guy who booked a model and who forgot to tell me that he is disabled. Okay. And that was a situation when it was unexpected for me and for model. Okay, so for disabled guys, it's a good question, and I would explain that there are only options for them to have a photo shoot at their house. Okay, and that will be at totally another price. Okay, one thing. The other thing, of course, depends what they want to shoot, what kind of a nude portfolio, but they said rude portfolio, so most of the time it will be playing with themselves situation, right? Playing with themselves situation. So there are many details involved, but this specific question is answered this way, that there are no access to the studio for disabled people. There are people who are disabled but able still to come, and they have to tell everything and be honest with the photographer, okay? Especially when we're hiring model. You see, when we're hiring model has the right to know and have to be informed in full about the situation, okay? And the model has to right to say no and decline the shoot if I am not informing it in full. So this guy was really lucky, okay? He booked a tantric model and we had the shoot with him. Okay, but that affects the shoot completely because the guy cannot move around the studio, cannot create many scenes and scenarios because he is just sitting down or laying down, you know, situation. He cannot walk around and do anything. So it creates the shooting, affects the shooting process and creativity, okay, and that's have to be a fair situation, that the person who has a disability or any kind of health issue, they have to tell. You see, they have to tell. So that's very important, okay? Usually when I create a photo shoot, you see, photo shoot at my studio comes with a deposit first, okay? And deposit for a nude photography is 540, okay? So this guy is already underpaying about, you know, this situation. So he has to go somewhere and find someone who would help him, probably a beginner, someone who is a beginner. You know, people who are shooting 20 years or so, they are experienced photographers and they have their own pricing, right? But there are people who has less experience and they would take this money and they will help, okay? And maybe they will have an access to their studio. So I would advise to check other studios. Right? Another question. I am interested in photo shoot. I am a creator. Please answer me how to work this with yours. I don't know what is this question. Let me go to the next one. I'm looking for information for a photo shoot for myself. I'd like it to be solo. A mixture of boudoir and erotica and nudes as a gift to my boyfriend. Can you please send me the cost, studio information, and hair and makeup? Okay, so the photo shoot for the boyfriend, okay, and that usually it's a very standard shoot. We will start from the portraits, okay, because the makeover involved, and that means that there will be full makeup and hairstyle, and that's exactly what we want to capture. And then we would go to semi-nudes, lingerie shoot, right, and nude photography. When we shoot for a boyfriend, we always shoot explicit, okay, explicit scenes, right? Sometimes we shoot maybe fetish ideas, sometimes we shoot playing with the toys, okay, because we discovered that boyfriends would like much more beyond, to go beyond the boudoir, okay? The sexier it gets, the better for the boyfriend. Okay, so it's a gift for the boyfriend, so we have to act accordingly, okay? That's is my observation, okay? When it comes to shooting for a husband or for a boyfriend, they've seen a lot of porn and they want to see something like that, you know, with their girlfriend, to be extremely naughty. That's what they want and that's what they're looking for. So the cost usually depends on how long is the shoot, what it involved, how many changes, okay, how many images they would want to get at the end, how many edited files they would like to get. Maybe it's going to be a book, maybe it's going to be a video, right? Maybe it's going to be a gift collection, okay? Depending on how long I will stay on the project, okay? And there are packages as well include. So every package reflects a certain amount of pictures, okay, and a certain time spent in the post-production and a certain service, right? So that I will be introducing via email, okay? But solo shoot to secure and reserve the day costs 540 deposit, right? And then we have a shoot, depending on what we create, how big was the shoot, then they pay remaining balance. That's how I operate, okay, at my studio. Next question. Hi, how much for a shoot with the male model? It's my boyfriend's fantasy. And who is the most hung male? Because my boyfriend wants the person to have a big cock. My boyfriend is not exactly small, so it's not easy. You see, that's the situation. So what I can tell you from the message, I can see that this is a young mind, young female, okay, because they still competing which size is bigger, okay. When people are mature, they stop competing and they're not interested very much in that competition. But when there is a competition going on, right, so it's, you know, in their 30s, in their 40s could be, but very rare. Most of the time in 30s, okay? So it's a young lady who is interested to shoot a fantasy, okay, for her boyfriend to surprise him for his birthday, and want me to find a model, okay, male model, who has a huge size because her boyfriend is big size, okay? That's the situation. It's all arrangeable, you see, it's all arrangeable. How you can book a model, you pay a deposit, and I will send you pictures of the males who are available to shoot, okay, and we will agree on the date. And of course I will send you the size and erection so that you can compare, you know. So it's not hiding the cat in a bag, okay. When I send pictures of the models, I send their body, physical state, right, how the body looks. Then I send, of course, how intimate places looks in the erection size, right, so that they, you know, can choose, right. And sometimes I can send a separate portrait face headshot, okay, so that they can definitely choose the model. But I can tell you, they do not choose the model by the face, you know. I usually even do not include the face. You can see here on this question what the lady left me, that they are interested in the biggest penis. You see, that's what they interested to book, okay. So, you know, at this state, the face is not relevant even. But I can tell you, there are a lot of models in adult business, in adult industry, who are huge size. That's not hard to choose, excuse me, and not hard to find, okay. So that's something when I can tell, it's not that hard, okay. Let me just have another question with disability, okay. I already answered about disability, you see. So I am another one. I am a cross-dresser who has previously completed a fantastic boudoir shoot. Great, you see, they previously already done a great experience. Why you don't come back there then? Okay, that's the question. Let me just quickly update this situation because my phone is going low. Okay. And now I would like to do an erotic photo shoot, including a video with a hired male model, okay. The theme of the shoot would center around seduction, full intimacy, and the model cum shot. I would require a makeup support to ensure I look my best. Please would you advise on likely cost, as if a consultation call is next step to discuss further. Okay, so consultation call is always available and you can book. Okay, you can book and we can schedule, right? So that is advisable if you have any kind of questions. Very often people not so much need a consultation, but they need to feel the vibe of the photographer, you know, how the photographer feels. Okay, is it relaxed? Is it, you know, comfortable to be around that person? Okay, so that is the consultation is about. Okay, when it comes to shooting photography and videos with the male model, of course, that will be a male gay model. Okay, clearly we're not gonna invite a straight guy because he would not be happy. Okay, so we have gay models available, and that's an option, right? The theme will be around seduction and full sex with the cum shot. That's not a problem. And the makeup, of course, it will be another gig, and I have a lady who is professional with wigs. Okay, because when we have a guy shooting adult photo shoot and he is a cross-dresser, he most likely will be wearing ladies' clothes. Okay, so some corsets, some dresses, some suspenders, some high heels. That's gonna be a situation during the shoot, right? And they are usually want to have a makeup, full makeup, okay, and they want to have a hairstyle. And most of the time, cross dressers wearing wigs. Okay, so there has to be a beauty professional who is aware how to prepare the wig and how to put it on and how to style it, okay, which I have one. And of course, these photo shoots are premium services, okay, premium services, right? And that's what we can discuss during the call, okay? I can send the offers, right? So this type of photo shoots I create at the studio, and today I'm reading about clients who leaving me messages related to photography and video sessions for my studio. Okay, the next one. Hey, my wife and I have been in search of the photographer that will do shoots for Cuckold lifestyle. We have been wanting amazing portraits for around the house, and of course some naughty ones just to have. Would love to hear more about your business, thanks. Okay, amazing portraits around the house. So that means they are not coming to my studio and they will be inviting me to their home. Okay, that's the message is about. And yes, I am traveling and I can visit a couple. Okay, I can visit a couple, but you see, they do not ask a model, so they have someone, okay? So I can visit a couple in their home, right? But clearly they have someone in mind already, and there will be a Cuckold style shoot, and that would be a shoot when the wife is having intimacy with someone else and the husband is there to watch. That's going to be this type of photo shoot. And when they said they have they would want a naughty ones around the house, so it will be me going around the house and taking a picture of his wife being with another man. Okay, that's the situation. So Cuckold lifestyle is the lifestyle when they're sharing their wife with other guys. Okay, that's the situation, and that's the question and inquiry about, right? So I am confirming that I can travel. Okay, I travel around Europe and I travel in UK. Okay, so yes, I do travel, and of course this reflects in the price. Okay, so it will be a premium shoot. And if we travel, I of course straight away charge a day fee, not fees by the hour. Okay, it's going to be straight away a day fee, right? So that's the thing. And usual situation, if you're booking deposit, right, and we will agreeing on what we're doing and how much this will all come up to, right, then it's possible. Okay, it's possible. I can come and visit you. That's That is an offer. Okay. The next question is this. Dear Julia, I am interested to have erotic photo video session for myself and get some really gorgeous nude and erotic artwork from you. Here we go. Lovely, lovely message, okay? I just wanted to inquire on the packages for solo men, the hours, and what will I be getting from the session. I am in London from this to this day, and maybe one last day in this. Okay, so the question comes from the guy who would like to create a photo shoot for himself, okay, and this is going to be dressed, semi-nude and nude photography in erotica, and it's going to be an artwork. It means that we're going to be very much creative, okay, very much creative, which I like, okay. And what it means, people asking me about the prices, okay, and I can tell you there is a booking fee. There is a booking fee, and that's what I asked them to pay, okay. And then when I arrive to the studio, we can have a consultation, and I would see the person and I would understand what they want, you know, and then they can choose from the packages or they can go by the hour. Okay, very often there are situations when people are on the tight budget, okay, and for those who are on the tight budget, I can tell you this, okay, dreams, you know, to hire a model and pay less, you know, it's dreams, right? I want to work with a professional. And if the model has an experience, and if the model is hot and sexy, it's not gonna be cheap. It's just simple as that, okay? So it's better for you who is on the budget to find that person and come and shoot like a couple shoot, right? When you are a solo individual, right, and you want to create an artwork and want to have a certain, you know, stuff done, right? So I can tell you how the artwork is made, okay? It's hard to measure. Artwork is hard to measure. How long is the shoot? Yeah? Because everyone is going into a certain creative mode. Sometimes it's 2 hours, sometimes it's 3 hours. It actually depends on the individual rather than me, okay? Because what happens during the photo shoot, you see, they all want great and sexy pictures, okay? They seriously... They've seen a lot of great artwork, and I am able to shoot it. We can have successful shots in the first hour, okay? But I'm also loving a high standard, I can tell you. The longer you shoot, usually the better you get, okay? People are more relaxed, okay? People are more in tune with their body. People are more expressive with their body. People are more, feeling the intimate sexual energy rising in their body. They are presenting themselves in a different way. They get used to in the time when I do not matter anymore, okay, like a piece of furniture. And they seriously create things, scenes, the way they move, the way they show. That's very special. And it takes time, okay? It's like driving a car. If you get into a new car, you know, to feel that new car, you need time. You know, you just need to drive and try this. It takes time. It's the same like you arriving for adult photo shoot. Most of the time, people never done this experience before, okay? Never done this before, and it's a new experience. And then they expect to be professional models in the first half an hour. It happens to me, we create great shots. But consciously, when it happens consciously, when you are absolutely aware, when you are focused, when you are sensual, when you are seductive, right? When you are risky, when you're in a contact with yourself, and then connected with the photographer, with me, right? It takes time, okay? And I charge for that, okay? I charge. If we create 1,000 pictures, I charge for this package, even if you choose 5, and if you want 5. Very often men would like an experience, okay, would like to undress and would like to understand what it takes to create this photo shoot, you know, what it takes. That's what it's all about, you know. And then, you know, this experience can last, and then they choose the best pictures, okay. And vice versa, if there is a couple or a ladies, then they would like more, you see, more. So men are maybe more focused on experience, and then they would like few pictures, right? But to get into those few pictures, I maybe have to shoot 200 before, you know. And it takes time to put you in a different positions, in a different setting, in a different lighting, try different camera options, right? Lenses. There are many things that when you create art, you apply, you know, and it's a lot of testing mode, right? When we do not create art and we just shoot nude photography, nude portraits, right? We set up the light, we undress, and we shoot it, right? And people say, I don't want anything sexual, intimate, I just want a nude art photography. That's how it made in the studio. People undress, they don't feel anything, they don't, you know, they do not perform, they do not act out, they do not go into their role, into their zone, okay? They don't. That's a faster process because you take your pants off and you take a picture, right? But when we talk about I love your work and I would like to be part of you and create erotica art, it's a process. Not everyone knows how to go into this right away and straight away, even models. And the models are very easy to shoot, you see. They are the ones who are aware about themselves and in tune with themselves. So they're very quickly to go into that mode. So yeah, solo shoot for everyone is the same rule. People are paying a deposit and booking a day, okay? And then when they're arriving, we very often, you see, discover the things that they have not mentioned, okay, during the photo shoot, okay? Very often men downgrade the situation, that they're one very simple shoot, but when it comes to shooting, they want much more than that. They get aroused, they get erected, you know, and they want a full-on shoot, okay? And then we change, right? So erotica in general has no limits, okay? When we shoot boudoir, this is a limitation, okay? Because boudoir is just an illusion. Yes, we simulate, right? When we see scenes, intimate scenes in a movie, we believe that something happened, but in reality, actors haven't done much. Yeah, they just initiate this for us to make the content interesting and the movie interesting, right? So that's how it is. Okay, let me just now go to another question, okay, and quickly say hi, hello, because this is the time for you to ask questions, okay? And if you have questions about photography, adult photography, I am here to answer, because I'm answering here already questions, okay? So I'm quickly saying hello. It's nice meeting you here. Sorry, I'm scrolling. My phone is moving. Okay, let me hold this on the stand. Okay, just quickly check and say hello to everyone. Hi, hello. In the other words, he cannot bring his mistress. In the other words, he cannot bring his mistress. To the studio, you can bring mistress. You know, you can bring anyone. I don't know who cannot bring what. You would tell me what is the situation, because so far we spoke a lot about cuckold fantasy, you know. So mistress, I don't know what it came from, but yeah, you can bring anyone to the studio and create adult photography and videos, right? But like I say, that's gonna be a couple shoot, yeah? couple shoot if there is someone else in the studio, right? Okay, hi, hello, hi, hello. Hi, hello, hi, hello. One message. You have a time. What are you doing with your life? What I'm doing with my life? Okay, I'm making art and I'm enjoying, you know. So I'm using, you see, everyone is gifted for something, right? And it took me many years to find what I am best at, okay? And it took me a lot of education and qualifications to get, okay? And professions to try, and jobs, different kind of jobs to apply to, okay? And so I found this because it wasn't available when I was growing up. Okay, I didn't know that there is a erotic photographer as an option. Okay, everyone was talking that I have to choose between being a lawyer or a doctor. Okay, so I chose to be a doctor. Okay, and then when I arrived to London, I changed my profession. You see, because that was forced on me by my family, by my parents. It was expected. So I chose by my heart, you know, what I want to do. And it's very close, okay, to helping people. You see, when you're studying medicine, you give oath to help people. And what happens now in hospitals, there are a lot of ill people, okay? Every illness starts from the emotional state. That's scientifically proved. Okay, so emotional state changes when you feel something, right? And when you feel negative emotion, that's what impacts you. Okay, what happens with erotica and erotic fantasies? Erotica is a healing process. It's a re-editing, okay? It's a revamping and reboosting your system, right? And people very often deny this, okay, and keep it as a taboo, hiding, right? And here it is me discussing this and helping, you know, to heal themselves so they can be braver, more confident, right? And more happier with themselves and with their intimacy, right? So that's what I'm doing. It's the same, right? But it's from the other end, okay? It's from the other end, starting. So that's the thing, yeah? Are you from Ukraine? That's a very popular topic. If you think that this situation happens in Ukraine, everyone is from Ukraine. No, I'm not from Ukraine. I speak Sanskrit. Guess. Guess. Okay. Guess. Right. Okay. 8 messages. Great. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for your hearts. I can see your hearts. It's lovely. Okay. I'm scrolling still and I'm looking for these messages. Yeah. So that I can see. Hi, hello. Hi, hello. Thank you for joining fan club. I can see that. Okay. Nice. Nice. Okay. So what are these messages? 17 messages. Okay. Good morning. What lipstick are you wearing? What are you talking about? What lipstick? I even don't know. You see, I'm not aware of these things. Just like the color, I put it on. Okay. So that's the lipstick that I'm wearing. What I'm talking about photography for adults. Okay, about photo shoots, photography sessions. I have a private studio here in London. Okay, and I create photography for individual and couples. And what happens is that they go on my website and they leave messages for me. Okay, they leave messages, and very often these messages duplicate. It's very simple things, you know. They repeat. I can see it. So when I answer to those questions, to those messages, there will be a lot of people who will receive their answers automatically. So that's what I'm doing here, right? Replying to the questions about photography in boudoir, in nude, in explicit, and adult fantasies, right? That's what we're talking here about. Yeah, okay. You are a beautiful woman. Can you be my model? Can you be my model? The answer is no. Okay. Yummy, you are a beautiful baby. Can you be my mommy? Seriously. There's so many people who are lost. Okay. Someone lost a model. Someone lost a mom. Okay. I'm joking. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry. You will find a model and you will find your mom. I need your services all over me. Okay. All over me. So my services are available and I am based in London, okay? I am based in London, so that's the thing, okay? Hola, I don't speak Spanish, but hola, okay. I think I finished this question thing. I love your voice. I can speak when I'm very calm, okay? I love my voice too. Okay, when I rush here and accomplish something, answer more questions, I'm a little bit under pressure, so my voice changes, right? But I try to relax more so that you can enjoy more. Okay, next question. I try to subscribe to the monthly gallery, but the payment never works. That's so true. So I paid for a daily pass, but got no access. All the pages leads to a placeholder of images, right? Okay, so what happens with my website to answer this to people who would want to access online galleries, adult galleries online? I've closed the access because I have my own payments methods being suspended on website. The reason why is because I show nudity, okay, and I'm not able to collect any payments, okay, on the website. So I'm moving my galleries to Telegram, okay. The reason why I've decided is because it's a new idea which will be implemented in the way that you see on the Telegram. We will have a private membership, closed membership for adult galleries, okay. There will be windows there, and in those windows there will be placed a certain artwork. The website has for me much better layout, I would say, right? But the minus for this layout is this. You see, you can just have one-side communication. So you just watch the artwork and you are not able to reach me in any way. You're not able to leave the comment in there in the galleries. You are just a viewer, you know? Well, on Telegram, there is a totally different approach. You can leave your opinion, you can contact me, you can leave your message and I will reply. So you have a connection with me, okay? And people who are interested in art, adult art, they will have more use and value from this type of galleries, okay? So that's why it is not an option at the moment and everything is closed and the payment will not go through no matter how much you try, okay? I can remove those galleries, but you see by this day people are visiting and they want to enter these galleries, right? So I will just place more information for that matter. Okay, thank you for asking this question. Okay, another question. Hi there, love your work. My wife and I have been talking about doing boudoir, erotic boudoir couple session. We came across your site in search and wow, it's amazing. We would love some more info about packages. Do you do on location sessions or in your studio only? We live in the US. Oh, here we go. Would definitely travel to you for the shoot. Would be interested in studio and offsite if you are flexible. What does your availability look like next? And keep up amazing work. Look forward to hearing from you. Okay, so people would like to travel. To be fair, I receive a lot of travelers, okay, more than people who are living in London, okay, people coming to my studio from New Zealand, from Asia, from India, from, from US, okay, from Europe, okay, because you see people looking for something what is adult art, okay, and adult fantasies, right? And the way it's created in the way that, you see, I think of myself as an individual who is very unique. Okay, there are not many photographers who have an experience like me, 20 years in adult business, to work in this field. Okay, imagine how much I can achieve with people having this base. Okay, so my background is medical background. Okay, it means that when people undress or perform or do any kind of things, okay, they will feel very safe and secured. Okay, no judgment. It's very easy, right? It is easy to go and to see the doctor and undress in front of the doctor, because doctor have seen so many, you know, nude stuff, right? That just in terms of the energy is different. Okay, so imagine when people would like to shoot something more than boudoir. Okay, something more than nude. They actually want to push the boundaries, and they want to experiment, and they want to go explicit, and they want to go into penetration shoot, and they want to make some noises. Okay, and they want to, you know, create some mess in the studio, right? And not every photographer or videographer can handle this unless you go to porn studio. Okay, but the porn studio will charge you accordingly. Am I right? Okay, and that will be again a totally different service, because porn studio has a kind of a conveyor experience, you know. And the way you do it, you know, you will end up maybe just doing things, you know, and will have no time and no atmosphere to feel it, you know, and do it in a way that, you know, you imagined. How is your fantasy like? Okay, so that's the thing. So let me just answer these questions. Boudoir and erotic shoot, yes. Boudoir, you know, it's a beginning of erotica. Okay, then erotica goes into a certain intimate and a sexual energy vibe when people are losing themselves, right? And it's an animalistic reflection, right? When they don't see you, what they're doing, they don't care, they just turn on and, you know, and just being, you know, all over, right? So that's kind of an energy, that's kind of a real vibe, you know, I'm looking for, and I'm pushing people, encouraging to let those demons out, because that's the real intimacy, right? So that's another thing. Am I doing photo shoots in the studio? No, only no. We can go and do sessions on location, but again, do you know that London, okay, it's, you can get a fine shooting intimacy on location, especially outdoor. Okay, I'm not saying it's not possible, I'm not saying I haven't done this, okay, but you have to be very careful. Okay, it's not that you're going in a park and you're shooting a penetration shoot. Yes, it's possible if you know the places, right? You can go into the forest and so on. So that kind of a location, right? If this is a location is based in a hotel, that's not a problem, okay? But very often people would like to mix it up, okay, and go and do outdoor situation. So of course I am that risky person who would risk with you, okay, who will take you on this gig, and we will accomplish this gig. But I'm just saying it's illegal, you know. So that's gonna be reflected on the price when I do it, right? It's just simple as that, okay? Okay, so I'm interested in does availability. Okay, so I hope I answered to this question, right? There are people who do not want to risk, you know, they do not feel that much risky. They want to go outside. That's the thrill, okay? And I understand this, right? I understand this. Okay. I purchased a membership. Okay, that's another question of the membership. Okay, hello. Would you shoot two older guys, 55 and 65, who want to explore bisexual interest with a photographic record? You can straight away sense the maturity, right? With a photographic record. hand and oral fun only to completion? The answer is yes. Of course. Of course. Of course I would shoot guys. I would shoot woman, I would shoot guys, I would shoot guys and the woman and the woman. It's not about who are in the studio, okay? It's not about personality even, right? It's about energy, right? If people are, how to say, in a positive vibration and they genuinely interested and wanna present their intimacy and create some artwork, I am on it. Okay, I am on it, and I don't care how old they are, to be fair, you know, or what color they are, or what shape they are, or what sizes. It's not, you know, it's not a question even, right? But you see, you can already from that question feel, right, that there is some insecurity out there, right? Would you shoot at this age? You know, this age you can perform and be sexually active, okay? It's not the end of you when you're 65, okay? Seriously, right? That's how people think, okay? That it's strange that adult photography or adult videos is just for 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds. No, I shoot a lot of mature people, and I'm welcoming mature people. 65 is a great age, right? You can do anything. As a matter of fact, when I'm shooting who is 65, I am enjoying, because you know what, how they shooting? They shooting like they have nothing to lose, okay? These people maybe will have 10 summers left. You understand what I'm talking about? 10 summers left in their life. And, or 10 winters left, yeah? So, you know, they want to explore. They want to explore their intimate side, they want to explore their body, they want to explore their fantasy, right? Mature people would like to create something, be brave about it, right? Become confident in their vibration and their intimate vibration. And I don't really, how to say, have any judgments towards sexuality, okay? What kind of a sexuality that is it bisexual, is it straight, is it gay? It doesn't matter, okay? If people are doing it from their heart, that's how they feel, that's what they want to experiment, very well. As long as you're honest with me, you know, not lying, not hiding, right? Being honest is the first thing, right? What is comes to, okay, next question. Next question is 21-year-old male interested in becoming a model. 21 years, it's a very young age, okay? It's a perfect to be a model, right? It's a perfect to be a model. 21 years, if they're doing a first-time photo shoot, is a standard procedure. I would suggest a very simple and basic portfolio, okay? And that basic portfolio, in general, models need 12 pictures if they go into fashion, okay? When you go into adult models, you need 5 or 6, it's enough, right? What I do for models is I help them to break into business, so we create a photo shoot, okay? I charge them as well for that photo shoot, so I would sell them a package, right? Which will have 5 or 6 shots. And also I will give all the highlights from the shoot that they can use, okay? So that's another thing. Right, okay, let me just quickly do a break or maybe answer the last question. Hi there, I'd like to book a photo video shoot for our wedding anniversary. We have a hotel booked already. Would you be able to visit a hotel? Can you let me know what options are available for us for a shoot, please? Okay, so that is another out call, okay? Out calls to hotel. People very much liking a central London location, okay? But there are who will go outside London, so I would need to know where is this hotel, okay? I would need to know the situation with the hotel. Let me just say quickly hi, and I will finish with the last question. Okay, so I can answer if there will be any. Okay, if there will be any, or you just sitting and listening, that's also okay. You can sit and listen, right? So I don't see anything, so I will continue. Okay, a couple who will have a wedding anniversary and they would like to have a specific photo video shoot in their hotel. So it's most likely will be a love story situation. Okay, and for love story we are shooting portraits at the start, and then lingerie shoot, and then semi-nudes, and then nudes, right, around the, you know, the place where they book. When we have a hotel, it's one room, okay, one room with the bed. So I use windows. We shoot next to the window. If there is a balcony, it's great. Okay, if there isn't, we go to the bathroom. Okay, if there is a bath, it's great, we can use it. If there isn't, then the shower. Okay, but I like shots with the water. Okay, so that would be the last thing what I would do usually. I would go around and do the shoot, then I do the bedroom situation, okay, and then we would go into bathroom. But it can be planned differently, right? Doesn't have to be this way, okay? But when couple is booking a photo shoot in their hotel, there will be make love scenes involved, okay? That's what we shoot there, okay? Not boudoir, okay? When couple is booking a photographer with the video, and the video is usually a hardcore scenes, okay? So that is going to be that. Okay, so usually I send all the offers and all the options via email, and that's what I do. And today I would like to finish my live and thank everyone who was here, and of course asking questions, sending me hearts. Okay, and I would finish this right now, and I might see you tomorrow. Okay, maybe not. Okay, let me just say, so bye for now. Thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much for staying and being, okay, and listening Friday night. Have a good the rest of the evening. If it's an evening, it's an evening in London coming. Okay, bye